Wow. I make it the top of the hour. And Archana, that must mean it's time to start. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Iron Viz 2025. Can't believe it. Qualifying results. So, this is a live event. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to be announcing the results of the qualifier competition and revealing who the top 10 are and the three who are going to advance to the big event at Tableau Conference in San Diego, which it's only 12 weeks away. Crikey. My name is Andy Cotgreave. I'm co-host of Iron Viz, and I am joined by my partner in crime, Archana. Hi. Archana.
Hi, thanks, Andy. And I'm thrilled to be back presenting the qualifier results with you, a staple of the Tableau Conference schedule. Indeed. By day, though, I am a program manager for the solution engineering team, helping arguably the best team at Tableau. I know, Andy, yours is pretty great too, but mine is, I think, better. Tableau scale their work and help even more of our customers see and understand their data.
Indeed. I started on the solution engineering team.
That's true, actually. You are one of us.
My heart is there. But enough about our work catch-up. We've got a theme to talk about. This year's theme was entertainment. Broad. We like these broad themes. But we had musical groups, sports teams, TV shows. Anything that entertained you was fair game. And we challenged you all to viz what you found entertaining. And you did. We had over 190 entries. 59% of you were first timers. So if you're here on the call and you're a first timer, thank you so much. We love seeing the new people entering the community. So whether you make the top 10 or not, thank you so much and congratulations to every one of you. Archana, what is at stake?
Well, today we're going to be announcing the top 10 scoring vizzes from the qualifier contest, along with our 3 finalists who'll be battling it out live in San Diego during TC. Now, all the top 10 qualifiers will, of course, earn the glory and the pride of being an Iron Viz finalist, as well as bagging themselves some awesome Tableau swag. But our top 3 will be competing live on stage for the Iron Viz finale prizes. Now, these are big prizes. You can already see them on screen. They will be competing for a total of $15,000 in cash prizes for themselves, as well as a total of $10,000 to donate to the nonprofits of each of their choice.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's the best prize for, all these data geeks amongst us. We're all introverted, right? And it's like, well, what's the prize? Stand on stage in front of thousands of people. Talking of standing on stage in front of thousands of people, registration... It's open today. The page is live. You can go and register right now. And if you stick around to the end of this live stream, we will be dropping a special discount code into chat, which will give you $500 off your price of a ticket, which is pretty cool. I'll just say hi to everybody in India and Singapore and everybody else who is tuning in at some crazy time of night, but data never sleeps, does it? So, Archana, before we get going, how did we get to the top 10?
So as always, just like the Iron Viz finale, each entry in our qualifier contest is also judged on the same criteria. It's analysis, design, and storytelling. I want to give a shout out and a thank you to all of our community judges who went through those hundreds of entries to select the top 10 today. It can't have been easy, and we'll be joined by a few of our judges later who'll be sharing their experience of being on the other side of the panel. So without further ado, let's get to our top 10. Are you ready?
I'm ready. On behalf of everybody else, they're ready. We're 4 minutes in. Let's get going. Right. Here we go. I think you're the first one.
I'm the first. Yeah, I've got the evens.
I'm sorry. Here's the second page of qualified judges. So, yeah, thank you, everybody, for getting going. Right. Here we go. And number 10. Take it away, Archana.
Number 10 is Jennifer Dawes with How I Met Your Mother. Love won, but fans lost.
Congratulations. Yeah. Off you go, Archana.
Yeah. So I've never actually watched How I Met Your Mother, but I love this viz anyway. I just loved how it used data story to explain why the final episode was such a letdown. I remember hearing about it at the time, obviously, but kind of seeing that look back with the context of actual data to back it up, rather than just like the anecdotes that I was hearing from people, gave a lot of context that I didn't have. For me, the radar chart at the top is obviously a stunning piece of data artwork. And it's one of my favorite viz, but excuse me, let me rewind that. While the radar chart at the top is a stunning piece of data artwork, one of my favorite vizzes in this dashboard is actually one of the simplest. It's a jitter plot that shows by episode ratings compared to the season average and then the overall average. And you can just like spot that dot for the final episode being like right low down instantly. It's like just so simple, and it just tells the story at a glance. Like, you don't need to know the show, you don't need to know what even the data is really about to just see that straight away.
Yeah, fantastic stuff, and we all love a good plot, don't we? All right, well, congratulations, Jennifer. On to number 9. We are announcing the number 9 is The Bears of Brooks River from Sher Bradley. So congratulations, Sherry. I had a great time. I did not know there was a river in Alaska called Brooks River, and I did not know there were bears that get very fat there. So certainly the story itself was just really, really compelling, and I learned a huge amount. One of the things I love about this, well, we've got a jitter plot. You can see that right. But I like this chart, which is here. This is a stream graph showing the number of bears on the river each year or over the years. And it's a stream graph, which is just a brilliant visual metaphor, because it could have been a stacked area chart with a really dull and boring baseline axis flat on the x-axis, but it's a stream graph illustrating data about a river. So I love that. I also loved the really good extra context inside the tooltips. So you get a story of each of the bears. And yes, I did go and watch a lot of these bear videos to get to know them. So really, I just learned a huge amount. So loved it. Congratulations, Sherry. Over to number 8. You ready, Archana?
Yeah, I would love to challenge the folks in the chat to come up with a word, almost like onomatopoeia, where like the chart is showing the thing at the same time. How onomatopoeia is the sound of the word.
A chart of
yeah.
Oh, right. Right. Sorry. Now you've distracted.
I'm not going to put Andy on the spot, and I'm not going to distract you, Andy. But I'll challenge. I'll challenge our chat folks to work on that one while we kind of chitter chatter away.
Yeah, I'm so easily distracted. Look, here's number 8.
Number 8 is Ricer with Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. I absolutely loved the tropical color scheme of Ricer's Viz, especially right now in the UK. Here it's minus temperatures, so it's very, very cold. I'm sat here with my blanket. Andy's got his cup of tea. We are just trying to keep warm, so this is just like a nice reminder of the summer that's to come. And obviously we'll be in San Diego celebrating TC as well, so it just had that vibe. I know that pie charts can be pretty divisive, but I think the way Ricer has used them here to highlight different albums and songs, and use color instead of kind of the angle, kind of draws your attention to the darkest segments, which are the 2 most popular songs. And in particular, because the angle of the pie is equal, they just look like orange segments, kind of fitting with the tropical theme. So I just liked the theming of this was very consistent.
Brilliant. I love, we don't see many Gantt charts. I love a Gantt chart done well, and I think the mix of color on here is fantastic. So excellent job. Let's all have some margaritas in San Diego to toast this one, shall we?
Yes.
It's the plan. Number 7, we're going to the music industry. It's Darra Murray with his Hit Machines, comparing Pitchfork's 2010 and 2022 top 100 rankings. It's had one of the best analyses I've seen in many Iron Viz entries. So it's a story, basically. Pitchfork did top 100 tunes in 2010, and then they did it again in 2020. And how did trends change? And some songs disappeared from one to the other. Now, what's the core chart? It's a chord diagram. Another one of those controversial chart types. Really hard to read until you put the time in to understand what the chord diagram is showing, and then poof, It's like just it's like opening up of really clever insights. So really nice chord diagram here. This is Little Fluffy Clouds by the Orb, who were at number 40 in 2020 and number 100 2 years ago. I went to see them live just before Christmas. Boy, they look old, but they're as old as me as well, so that's fine. Anyway, great analysis here. I'm a sucker for anything to do with music. And Darra goes into a lot of depth about what might have created some of these changing trends. So really fascinating stuff. So congratulations, Darra. Made me feel old. Number 6. Archana.
Number 6 is The Boom of Latin Music by Diego Parker. For this one, I just want to shout out Diego for putting together the Latin Iron Viz playlist. It's linked in his dashboard because it was the soundtrack while I was looking through all of my dashboards. So it's a really, really good playlist. So for that alone, I thank Diego. But in particular, this viz explores the boom of Latin music on the global stage and uses data from the Billboard charts, Spotify, and local radio stations to tell the story of glocalization. Now, when I saw that, I thought it was an unfortunate typo, and I was just like, oh no, Diego, what have you done? But it's actually a really interesting phenomenon where streaming platforms have actually bolstered rather than diluting kind of local music or music in different languages. So I learned a new word thanks to Diego's Viz as well. And I'm not sure if the Iron Viz rules allows 2 entries, but I think Diego's Viz, if you didn't notice in the top corner, he's translated his entire Viz into Spanish. So you can see it kind of in both languages. And I think it's just a great little addition as well. But unfortunately, you can't get 2 places in the top 10. That wouldn't be fair.
That might be controversial at some point. All right. Are we ready to move on? I'm going to sing a song. There once was a ship that went to sea. The name of the ship was the Billiard Tea. That's probably all you need. Number 5, it's Anne Pregler's brilliant analysis of the phenomenon that was Wellerman in 2020. So this was the 1-minute long sea shanty that went bananas in 2020 in the height of COVID, led millions and millions of views and a 3-record deal as a result of it. And I think Anne's done a fantastic job here. There's some great things here, right? First of all, Anne's looked at how did this song go viral and why musically are sea shanties such perennial popular things, including why it was a popular thing to hit in the middle of COVID when we were all stressed. You've already called out a network diagram. I really like this network diagram that Anne put in here, which it connects. So here was the original sea shanty, and each branch out is where people added their voices to the original one. So you ended up with these incredible harmonious TikToks. One of the reasons I love this is because this data doesn't exist. And so Anne, I assume, must have gone and created this data set. And I just think that's really, really great dedication to go and find and build your own data set to see what the story looks like. So no more singing from me, but I did go and listen to the song many times again. So well done, Anne. All right. We're at number 4.
Number 4.
Here we go.
This one is Brandon Cornell's How to Get into the Boston Marathon. So Brandon's Viz explores the 3 most common ways to enter the Boston Marathon, which, if for those of you not in the know, is one of the most competitive in the world to enter. And for me, Brandon's Vizes are an analytical masterpiece when he explains the race time qualification criteria and then compares it against the runners of the London Marathon and uses that as a baseline to test how many would actually then qualify for the Boston. And the answer is not many. I hope that's not a spoiler, but it just shows how complex that is. And I'm sure there's a lot of complex logic behind that Viz to get the Jitterpot, to get the simulation working. So I think it's one that is worth downloading, hopefully, and reverse engineering so that you can learn from it as well.
I'll also point out some people, how dare they say, oh, to win Iron Viz, you have to build these complex charts. And Archana and I have highlighted network charts and chord diagrams. They look great. But as you look across the whole of the top 10, you will notice most people just use out-of-the-box charts because they can be beautiful too. So I'm all in for the standard out of the box charts that can look beautiful. All right, so that is the top 7, which means that's 7, isn't it? Which means we have 3 remaining. They are the finalists, but we're not going to tell you them right now. Oh, we're such teasers. The next thing we're going to do is just have a little interview with 3 of the judges who helped choose this top 10. Samuel says, boo. Well, sorry, Sam. Thank you for the expression of emotion, but let's have a chat with our judges. Look, I've lost my place in the script. Yeah. So we've got 3 qualifiers. We've got Cecilia, Tore, and Preeti. Welcome along, and thank you so much for doing the judges. So I've just got a question for each of you. Tore, you were Suvisa last year, judge this year. How has the experience been?
I wasn't a Suviser because that's the guy from Sweden, you know.
Oh my God! Oh, what am I doing?
There's so many bald men with glasses and data. Yeah, you owe me once again a lot of drinks.
Margaritas.
Oh God, I've actually done that on live stream. Oh God, I'm just mortified. Sorry.
This is recorded, right? Excellent, thank you.
It's live. Oh God, carry on.
But anyhow, I've been a judge at the Iron Viz. This is the 4th time, I think, both for student and the adult one, and it amazes me every year to see all these excellent submissions, and it's really difficult to pick the best one and compare them. But the whole overall experience until 1 minute ago, Andy, has been excellent. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Archana, ask the next question.
I'll try and save you, Andy. Welcome, Celia, to the panel. Was there anything across the vizzes that you reviewed that you saw as a common theme or a trend this year?
Yes, this was my first time to judge. I have trained thousands of people to do Tableau, so I've seen a lot of visualizations, but I was very interested to see the significant trend toward infographics, and then also just such thoughtful interpretations of the genre of entertainment, both some of the classics that you would expect and then some others where people were personalizing it and sharing with what entertains them and why that was entertaining for others, and then also their effort to be entertaining with the way they constructed their vizzes. Also, just the creative use of dynamic information in the tooltip in chart inclusion, et cetera, so that we still have clean charts, but we have a lot of info packed in. Also, just a better balance of, at least from my experience, of words that are used for explanations or instructions for the user or the consumer, and then context and history. Seems like sometimes the vizzes can be pretty wordy, but these the ones that came across my desktop anyhow were just a delight to engage with, and usually presented engaging stories that I was really interested in. So it was a really great experience, and I really appreciate being able to contribute. So thanks for that.
Thank you, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're right. Thinking about entertaining the end users, it's really hard. So seeing it done well is such a pleasure. Preeti, what about things that impressed you? Were there any sort of tricks or things in Tableau that you've not seen used before?
No, certainly, Andy. So one of the things that impressed me most as a judge this year was the sheer level of innovation and creativity that was displayed by these participants. Generally, when we talk about data visualization, it's either art or science. But you will see in not these top 10, but all the participants that came through, they seamlessly merge these two to evoke such beautiful storytelling. They utilized all the Tableau features that we have to make these storytelling so interactive, so personal. Sometimes I felt like they were guiding me through the sequence and maintaining the engagement with the visualizations. That was unique for me. And as Celia had said, like the capabilities of using color, design, your data's impact, it was not only informing you but evoking that emotional response. We literally saw, Andy, that with one of the vizzes you had that response, right? I am old. No, that is not the response, but it gives you that emotion and feedback. I would say they also, some of the vizzes had real-time data feeds in them, and it was so seamless on Tableau Public, and there was no lag or performance issues, so I was blown away but by all the creativity and all the tools and techniques that these participants use to build these vizzes.
Brilliant. Tara, what about the 3 criteria? Which do you most enjoy judging out of analysis, storytelling, and design?
As a wannabe Suvisser, I love obviously all of them. But it's just like when you watch The Voice. You see the judges, they push the button straight away when they hear the first tone, and that's also when I open up the dashboards, and you immediately realize this is something that you really love. So the storytelling what gets you drawn into it. And you don't get annoyed by why did I use this font of 9 pixels, or why did I use the same color multiple places. You see a few of those, but the ones that really stand out, the storytelling, those are the ones that really, that's why I'm back doing this year and year over, because it's so fun.
That's amazing. All right, and Celia and Preeti, any other inspiration you've taken away from Iron Viz judging this year?
As Tor said, like, storytelling is the first glance that I get when I'm interacting with the visualization, right? So I have learned now a few tricks about making my storytelling more engaging, and I'm going to take it back to my personal storytelling techniques. It is just making that intersection of aesthetics and insights. That is the key takeaway that I'm going to take this year. That how do you bring the aesthetics, but also provide an insight through your story at the end of the day, and this make an Iron Viz worthy visualization.
Brilliant.
Yeah, storytelling for sure was it's like that next level refinement and consideration. You're not just working with a tool, but you're communicating a message and an insight to somebody that's going to carry from something that's entertaining all the way through to some critical mission kind of insight you're trying to do in a business environment. So really appreciated that level of refinement and purposefulness with what the folks were putting forward. It was really very enjoyable.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Celia, Tori, and Preeti for joining us today. But now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to announce our top 3. These 3 folks will be joining us as the 2025 Iron Viz finalists, as I said, live on stage in San Diego.
I'm ready, and thank you everybody in the comments for the support. Archana, thank you for egging everybody on to give me a hard time. Let's just move on. And if anybody does those things when I'm on Iron Viz in stage in April, I'll know where it all came from. All right, are you ready, Archana?
Yes, I am.
Here we go. First one goes to you.
In no particular order, our first finalist is Ryan Soares with Rising from the Tank. Now, a little bit about Ryan. He is from Ajax, Ontario, Canada, about 30 minutes away from Toronto, and his Tableau journey took off 8 years ago when his brother encouraged him to learn the tool and then used it during different internships. He's participated in community initiatives like Makeover Monday to further develop his skills and hone his Tableau craft. Now, data visualization is a hobby of his, and he is actively involved in the Tableau community.
That is cool. And this was Ryan's 5th time entering Iron Viz. Dogged determination comes through, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do in this theme because, he has a crocheted moose on his desk from the company Woobles, who happened to be one of the big successes of the Shark Tank. Archana, just give us your comments on the Viz first, and I'll add something else.
Yeah, sure thing. I really liked, I think it's the chord diagram showing the way the different sharks invest together and which ones are more likely to invest in kind of pairs, and then the bubbles showing which deals are bigger and how they stand out with their individual amounts as well. So I love that feature.
Yeah, that is a fantastic chord diagram. I really liked this viz, which you have to button to get this one, but this shows the impact on each of some of these businesses that were featured on Shark Tank. Now, the reason I like this so much is because Ryan didn't have access to the actual sales data for these organizations, so he's used Google search data instead, which is a really dedicated and clever way of finding proxy data to get an analytical answer. So I think what you've done there, Ryan, is just fantastic. So I don't know about you, Archana. I also spent about 20 minutes watching lots of the highlighted Shark Tank videos, all in the name of work. Congrats, Ryan. All right, I get to say number two. Number two is from Screen to Scene, and that is from Catherine McCrindle. So Catherine is from a small town on the west coast of Scotland, but has been living in Belgium, working with BizStory for the last 6 years. She's also been working with Tableau for 8, but the brilliant thing is she's a first-time entrant. And her winning entry was all about Outlander. And yeah, you are, China.
Yeah, for this viz, she shared that she started by brainstorming with ChatGPT, focusing on themes that felt close to home. She wanted to create something more meaningful and authentic, so chose a Scotland-themed viz, exploring the impact of the show Outlander on Scottish tourism, allowing her to combine two things she's passionate about and let her creativity shine. For me, again, kind of similar to the very first viz we shared, I've not actually seen or read Outlander myself, but again, this viz does a great job of first contextualizing the popularity and the critical success of the show before delving into the real world impact that a show like this, and I'm sure many others, have on the tourism industry of the locations that it's set in. In particular, in terms of Tableau skills, I really liked dynamic zones to utilize the space, and specifically there's an example with expanding charts and pagination that I think is worth shouting out.
Yeah, absolutely. I too had never even heard of Outlander. I really like this cumulative chart showing where Outlander is in relation to all other TV shows on IMDb. It's really simple, and it's just also really, really effective. So, Catherine, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you with the other two on stage. And our final one, remember these are in no particular order, but Archana, who is our final finalist?
Yeah, our third finalist is Bo McCready with One Hit Wonders. Bo grew up in Whitewater, Wisconsin, and currently lives in Austin, Texas. He has been using Tableau since 2012, when his boss bought him a license and told him to go play around with it. Fast forward 6 years to 2018, where Bo started engaging more with the Tableau community, and this transformed his career, sparking new opportunities and connections he never dreamed possible.
That's fantastic. Sorry, I just saw a very funny comment. This is Bo's 7th entrance into Iron Viz. So he's, that is a lot of entries, and this is his 4th time in top 10. So, a few years ago, he worked on a project called One Hit Wonders, but he felt it was time to update that into the theme of entertainment this year. And it's a really good viz. It's an analysis of One Hit Wonders. Really, really detailed. There's some analysis I've always wanted to see, such as hear about how quickly songs get to number 1 and then drop off. So I think that's a really clever piece of work. There's this little dude who helps with little overlays on how to read and use the dashboard. And there's just some really deep analysis about cultural trends, music listening trends that go on to things. Also, playlist. I don't know if you're listening to it, Archana, but a One Hit Wonders playlist. I do have a disagreement that Dexy's Midnight Runners, Soft Cell, not One Hit Wonders in the UK, but perhaps in the US. But Bo, it was awesome. Really, congratulations. Archana, any thoughts?
Yeah, I love that this viz completely challenged my own assumptions. I'm completely addicted to TikTok, so I would have thought that there are more one-hit wonders now with all the TikTok trends, with all the viral trends. But I think inadvertently this viz kind of highlights the power of data, as it shows how the changing methodology for data collection behind the scenes actually means that one-hit wonders are actually rarer than they used to be. So it's interesting how what I see as the consumer is not necessarily like reflected in the behind the scenes data analysis that's going on at Billboard.
Oh, what a brilliant point. Well done. I hadn't really thought about that impact, but yeah, fantastic. So look, there you go. They are 10 incredible entries, and those 3 finalists, Archana and I and the rest of the team and the data fan, cannot wait to see you on stage at Iron Viz in 12 weeks. But it's not just about the top 3. It's not just about the top 10. You know, genuinely, with 100% authenticity, it's about everybody who enters. Win or learn, you can't lose. By getting involved, you're developing your skills, you're becoming part of the community, and that is, you know, a really great step for your own career and helping us all become better users of data. With that,
make sure, as we've said many times this during this webinar, our 3 finalists will be battling it out with a live showdown at Tableau Conference happening in San Diego, April 15th to the 17th. Registration just opened today, so follow this QR code to secure your spot.
That's right, and those joining us live will notice there is a discount code that has just been pasted by my colleague Katie. Thank you, Katie, and the team for putting all these slides together and doing all the work. It's been really, really amazing behind the scenes support. But that code will give you $500 off the early bird price. So get registering.
It's a no-brainer. I want to thank all of you for joining us. Andy, I want to thank you for co-hosting with me. And I want to thank our panelists, our guest judges, for sharing their experience of the behind the scenes of the Qualifier contest with us today.
Indeed. Yeah. Thank you all very much. Torre, I hope you can bring yourself to forgive me for my faux pas. But do tell us what you've thought about the faux pas, but everything else on socials. Use the hashtag IronViz. And we will see you all at Tableau Conference in April. Can't wait to see you there. Farewell and happy vizzing.
Happy vizzing.